If you want to become an advanced lifter, become jacked and strong, there's a few things that you need to consider. The first thing is force production builds muscle and strength. Secondly, manage fatigue. Have a good exercise selection. Take progression seriously. Training the brain and thinking in systems. When you change and apply these concepts, I believe that you will have long-term progression and exponential growth, especially in the beginning. Advanced lifters understand that force builds muscle and strength. And when you are a beginner, you think that muscle comes from feeling the burn, getting a crazy pump, more exercises, more reps is better, live in the gym completely exhausted is what you need to become jacked and strong. And this is a big lie. This will work if you're a beginner or early intermediate, because whatever you do at this level works. But it gets to a time where you need to change things if you want to become advanced, if you want to go to the next level. And I believe this is the reason why a lot of guys stay intermediate their whole lives despite training for 5, 6, 10 years. It is because they're doing this thing. They didn't change nothing. Meanwhile, advanced lifters think about being productive with their sessions. They think about performance and force production, meaning if you're consistently producing more force over time, your body will adapt and it's forced to grow. So you need to give your body a reason to grow. You need to give your body more and more stimulus over time, meaning adding more weights to the bar, doing an extra rep. This is how your body will be forced to grow. The problem is that a lot of guys will do the same weight, the same sets, the same reps for a whole year. I've seen this a lot, and you've probably seen this, and you could probably be doing this. They do 3 sets of 10 with the bicep curls with 15 kilograms for a whole year. And they wonder why their arms are not growing. They don't track anything. They don't know what weight they should use. They just think about feeling the burn and the pump. And this is the reason why most guys stay weak and they don't see their body growing. They focus on doing things properly. Form, good exercise selection, focusing on performing better every session. This is also a sort of progression. This is being productive. This will allow you to progress in the long run. They know when to stop or do more because fatigue is what limits force, and too much fatigue is unproductive for muscle and strength. Progress will go up over time. Injuries will be less. You'll have less stress with progression, less chance of burning up if you apply these things, if you start thinking this way. Secondly, they respect fatigue. Every set creates 2 things, stimulus and fatigue. And stimulus is what you want, but fatigue is the cost to get the stimulus. And the problem is that after a certain point, the fatigue keeps going up, but the stimulus doesn't. And this is the problem with the training for the burn, training for the pump training, because it gets to a point where you don't have more stimulus and you're just hammering your muscles just for the pump and you're just creating more fatigue, and this on the long run will not let you have productive workouts. What is important for muscle growth and strength is having as much productive workouts throughout the months and throughout the years. You could have 2 productive workouts a week, but when you do these methods, you'll have just 1. In a year, you'll have only 52 productive workouts if you do once a week. But if you do twice a week, it will be 104 productive workouts, and your progress will be completely different. And a question you should ask yourself, should I do more? How much do I need? Not how much can I do? Probably you can do more, but do you need that? This is a question you should ask yourself. Then, they pick exercise that let them perform. Advanced lifters rarely change exercises. They have a few movements and variations that they rotate throughout the year. And why? Because this will allow them to reach their goals. They know what exercises will help them reach their goals or movements. There are movements that work well for them. This is important. They have mastered them, which makes progress and force production easier. For example, powerlifters, they always do the squats because they've mastered the movement, and this makes them progress faster, practice the movement a lot. This is why they will have big squats. This is why they will develop big legs, because they have mastered exercise and they can just put more and more weight throughout time. And what makes an exercise good? Stable, easy to progress, gives you a high stimulus without creating unnecessary fatigue. Good exercise that fits your body. For example, if you have short femur and versus long femur, Some exercises for leg will work for you well, and for the other guy that has long femur will not work well. Squats for people with long femurs, sometimes not that great for quads, and people with short femurs could be good. So this is why it is important for you to know exercises that are good for you. Also, they obsess over progression. It's obvious that you need to progress, but many people never actually progress. They just go to the gym to have a pump. They do the same exercises with the same weights, the same reps, and the same sets for months and even years. And advanced lifters know that the body only adapts when you give it a reason to. And progress can be more weight, more reps, more range of motion, faster rep, better technique. Especially as you get more advanced, these things such as range of motion and a faster rep are a huge thing, especially when you're doing 3 reps, 4 reps, 1 rep. So you need to see one of these things improving every single week. Then they train their brain as much as their body. This is what separates good from the great. Most can train hard for a few weeks when everything's going good or when everything is easy. But very few can do it when things are not good and be smart with their training. They adapt things according to their environment, according to how things are going. If they cannot do 4 workouts in a week, they do 2, but they manage the volume, they manage the intensity to kind of compensate the total volume per week. Advanced lifters know when to push, they know when to back off, they don't let their ego decide how much weight goes on the bar. This is a very important thing also. They don't max out every week just to prove something. They understand that 1 workout means nothing. 1 month means very little. They think about where they'll be in a year from now. They think in the macro. What are the inputs that I have to do now? So here in 3 months, 4 months, I'll achieve this goal that I have in mind. Whether it's your physical change or is the weight on the bar that you want to achieve. Finally, they think in systems. They understand that everything affects everything else. If you add more volume, fatigue goes up. If you lack sleep, diet, routine, your training sessions and recovery will suffer. If fatigue goes up too much, force production will go down. If force production goes down, progress gets slower. If recovery improves, they can train harder again. You need to understand and apply these things if you want to become an advanced lifter. And if you're a guy who's training for a few months, for years, and you have not seen progress in the last few weeks, few months, and you want to change things, you want to make progress, you can book a call down below. Let's chat and see if I can help you out. And if we work together for 30 days and you don't see any results, I'll give you a full refund. And by understanding this, your training journey will be much simpler. You'll ignore all the noise, enjoy lifting more because you actually don't need to train 5 times a week and you don't need to change programs all the time. Progress will be much easier. You'll be like, you take this pressure on yourself and because you know how to do things properly and you know that if you do things correctly, you'll achieve that goal. So that was it for this video. Any help that you need, you can book a call and I'll be glad to work with you and help you out, break your plateaus and become an advanced lifter eventually. See you on the next video.